headed this morning. Isn't it beautiful? It is, but it's super cold. Well, maybe not super. It's 44. I'm still cold. So where are we headed today? We're headed down to Ole. Ole is off-leash area in Edmonds for the dogs. So we're going to take our Moosey down to Ole and see how he does. Also bringing the metal detector down to Ole. See if we can detect in the dog park. If not, let's go and play on the beach for a little bit and see what we can find, all right? So let's see how that goes. I don't know how he's going to be with other dogs. So this could be a real adventure and a positive thing, or it could be a super, super disaster. Either way, if he doesn't do well here, what we will do is I will continue to take him, but he will be muzzled. And I know you guys are going, some of you guys are going, oh God, no. I can't have a dog bite a dog. I can't have a dog bite a child. I cannot have a dog bite a person. I can't even have that be a possibility. So until we get him completely anti-reactive, let's just call it, we might have to take steps in order for him to stop doing that. The other thing that will be coming is a citronella collar. And it is not a shock collar. I would use a shock collar. I'm not opposed to that. Okay? At the last ditch effort point. Even the police dogs have a shock collar on. Okay? Just so you know that. But this is not a shock collar. It's a citronella collar. And what it does is when he barks, it sprays citronella. Okay, dogs hate it. I worked really well with my Megan. My Megan was a little dog we bought back from Brazil, really little. She was like 12 pounds, 10 pounds. Skinnier that when she finally passed away. But she just would bark and not stop. And this is, I'm not talking about when she got crazy and blind and at the end. I'm not talking about that. We would never citronella collar a dog who was like mentally not okay anymore. Just saying. Of course, you know, she's 17. Oh my God, she'd stand in the middle of the hallway at 3 o'clock in the morning and facing the wall. It's an interior wall. Just bark and bark like crazy. It's like, what do you think you're seeing and hearing that the rest of us aren't? And quite frankly, maybe the wiring was humming or something was bothering her, but she could not hear and she could not see. So I don't know what it was. It would have to be a vibration thing she could feel. But she would do that. Anyway, I have no problem using a citronella collar to control barking. Okay, and that makes them step back really quick. They hate the smell of it. I hate the smell of it. Great side effect is citronella keeps all kinds of mosquitoes and bugs away. Bugs hate citronella too. But every time they bark, it sprays citronella, and it sprays it right under the front of their chin, not in their eyes, not anywhere else. It's just right flat out where it's going to hit, and so it goes straight out in front of them. So it's like whoosh, smack you in the face with that citronella, and it does work. And that way, it's not me barking at the dog for barking, because I have to think that dogs barking, they hear this. Okay, shut up. But what they're really hearing is stop barking. They're really hearing back at them. So they're barking, you're barking, they're barking, you're barking, they're barking, you're barking, and I don't just think that works. This is a hands-off, non-aggressive, I think, way to stop them from barking. And citronella is a product that's in our world and will not hurt them in any way, shape, or form. Now, that being said, am I willing to go to the extreme to use a shock collar? Absolutely. Why is that? Because me and Mr. Moose might be out in the woods somewhere, and Mr. Moose might decide to go after the bear, and I need him to stop and come back. Okay? A little click on that shock collar will usually turn a dog around right quick. All right? Right quick. Okay? And it's the safety of the dogs and those around you that must be considered, because if a dog bites, the dog is destroyed. And I don't believe there's bad dogs. I think there's bad owners. I think there's owners that have not taken the steps needed to cure a problem. Okay? And barking's a natural thing. I'm really happy he's there to protect me. But when I say enough, it needs to be enough. Oh gosh, look at that sunshine. It's like gorgeous. Very nice. Oh, I wish I would have cleaned the windshield a little better. Sorry, guys. Oh well. It's okay, right? It's okay? Sorry, guys. At least you get an outing, right? Oh my, it didn't look so bad at home. It looked fairly clean. don't think I have the Windex and a rag with me, so, well, this is what you get, guys. I'll do better next time, but you get it out in at least. It's pretty out. So that's some of the plans, and I know I have a lot of plans, and it seems like sometimes my plans don't happen, but my plans will happen. Okay, unless there's a better alternative that comes up, that's the plan. And we'll get Moosey trained up, and, you know, I know people who have trained dogs, have worked with training dogs. And I already made contact with a little local lady down here. I also know a few people who've been much more active in training dogs who can help me too. We know who those people are, and maybe that's one way they can help me. Okay, I'm not afraid to ask for help from people for that kind of stuff because I don't know everything. I just have raised a lot of animals. I've raised a lot of animals, and I like all animals trained to a point, but then to a point I like them to still be animals. Does that make sense? Probably not. But there's safety issues that have to be adhered to, and there's community issues that have to be followed, right? Well, that's where I am with that. I'm sorry, guys, this last weekend, yesterday to be specific, I did not go to the beach. I did not go to the ocean. It would have been beautiful footage, lovely drive. But I feel like I'm drowning a little bit at home, and I feel like I'm a little bit way behind at home. So I spent most of the day door dashing. I spent hours door dashing, actually. And so today, I might get back out later and DoorDash today. I might not. I might spend the day getting my content for hashtag Monday Digs. And then I might spend the rest of the day cleaning around my house until it's time to go to, organizing around my house. It's something that changed something. Until it's time to go to Thanksgiving dinner, because today's our Thanksgiving dinner. I know there's like a date other real families have their Thanksgiving, but we don't do that. And we don't do that because everybody has significant others. Everybody has, you know, split up families. Everybody has 15 places they need to be. Okay, exaggeration a little bit, but not much. So as a standing rule, we don't do Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving as a standard rule. We don't really do Christmas on Christmas either, do we anymore? I don't know. Did we last year? I can't remember. Anyway, you're looking at in front of me, and you're going to see those mountains. That's the Cascade. Ah! No, that's the Olympic National Forest, guys. There are so many different climates right over there that it's amazing. It's one of the most amazing places to go. It is one of the few rainforests left in the United States, well, in the world. Actually, I didn't know that. This to my left is at Maplewood Park. It has a bunch of trails. It's not off leash, but you know, if you have great knees, it would be a wonderful place to take your dog. If I could get Moose running with me better, I might try taking him with a bike. We're working on that. And dude, I'm sorry who's tailgating me so bad. If you're gonna miss your ferry, you're gonna miss your ferry. You should have left earlier. But I am doing 35 and a 30, and if he's not good with that, that's his problem, not mine. Edmonds police are very, very specific. Actually, you can get a ticket for 34 and a 30 here. Okay, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's kind of a little bit hazy still, so it's hard to see. Okay, I've been up on the top ridges of that. I used to go for drives. I'd love to do it again, but I have to go. I can't go by myself. I have to go with someone who has some mechanical talent and stuff like that. But I ended up there one time just by driving on a forest road that ran on the peak of this two mountain ranges, mountains that were put together. So I'm up there, and there's like down one side, down the other side is over 100 feet easy. Down, just down, right? Pretty scary, but it was really cool things to see there. And the rainforest there is beautiful, and it's all wet. I don't like going this time of year because it's too wet. Everything's so moist, right? Mainly, everything is so moist. In the rainforest, it's just like it's dripping. And if you've been in the desert for a while and you're feeling, you know, all dried out and sucked out, hop over to the rainforest, and in a few hours your skin will feel all plumpy and, you know, moisturized and everything, because it's seriously, the air is, I don't know why that does that. Because if you drive a little bit out of the forest, you can feel it more normalized. You can actually the desert, I can feel like all the moisture being sucked out of me. My skin just shriveling up like a prune. And I get back to Seattle and I feel better. But I even feel soggier when I hit the rainforest over here, which is kind of cool. It's sort of amazing. Yeah. Any of these houses here are super duper expensive. You can find the ugliest house on these streets here and several $1 million. Just silly expensive. Silly expensive. But that's to live in Edmonds. And anyway, if you buy that house, you're not buying to keep the house. You're going to bulldoze it. Work with the codes and bulldoze. It takes forever, though. It takes years and years. Apparently, this is one of the hardest places to build and stuff like that. Too many codes. But it is beautiful. A lot of people out walking their dog and a few other things. So we're going to see how Moose does. If he doesn't do well, I'll bring him back, put him in his crate. Go off and do some detecting by herself. The evolution of Moose. See how he evolves. I used to live down here on a rental house on 5th and Bell. It was really nice, but the house was a dump and it flooded, and every time a lot of the older houses, the sewage is still back connected up with the brown wash, you know, the runoff water, which makes you feel really good, right, about water quality here. And every time it rained really hard, the sewage would back up into the basement of where I lived. I should have gone down that road, but I didn't. My mistake. Let's hit this road down then. And oh no, we want to go one more. I recognize that one. It was just gross, and there'd actually be turds floating in our basement, and it's really funny because it was actually owned by one of the, we'll just call them bigger political figures at the time, because, you know, whatever, and they couldn't even fix it. They didn't even want to, because their idea was eventually they'd just tear it down and build a beautiful house on the property. But it was kind of like disgusting. Of course, they don't tell you that when you moved in, right? And the first big rain season, grossness. Okay, we're crossing the ferry line down here. Over to the right, here's the Cascadia Art Museum. Okay. It's pretty cool over that way. It used to be a Safeway store. You can see that from the outside. Up in front of us is all the big marina and the public fishing piers up in front of us. Farther over to the right of us is the ferry boat, the Kingston ferry that we came on the other day. In front of us is a train that's going right through now. The train station is also up here and over to the right a bit. The commuter train that can take you back and forth. Yeah. My mom's taken that train down to Portland a lot. I think she'll probably be taking it down again over Thanksgiving. She spends Thanksgiving down there with my brother, which is a good thing. Right? So the train station's just right over to our right also. And so sound transit too for the bus. But the trains still use these tracks and they come up and down them. There's really good restaurants down here. The Beach Cafe, Arnie's. Just good places to eat, places to hang out up on the hills at Claire's Pantry. Some littler restaurants up the hill too that are really fun to go to. Turn that heater down a little bit. I'm toasty, I'm sure. Moose is plenty toasty. So, on this waterfront, there's all kinds of places to walk and do and see, and there's beaches over to the right, past the, I'll say up north, past the ferry landing. The beach right on the other side of the ferry landing has an underwater scuba park. So a lot of people go there to learn how to scuba dive, because it's a big scuba park, which is cool. Oh, there's something now I see a new sign I haven't seen before. It says Edmonds Marsh Boardwalk. I wonder what that is. Must be a walking area. They're really big in, oh yeah, I see signs for the park or something. Must be a walking area through the marsh. There goes the train. We should be moving soon again. Up they go, out we go. Anyway, Edmonds has always been like my mom's favorite place to be and hang out and stuff like that. It's just gotten so expensive though. And the neighbors are so neighborly in not a positive way. Everybody's in everybody's stuff. But that's just how I feel lately. I kind of like, I want space. I want space. Yeah, so right straight off here, straight in front of us is the Edmonds Pier. Okay, it's a big fishing pier. Ooh, doggy's arguing the issue. He's not wanting to get up on the curb. That old man is trying to encourage him. I would encourage him. It's a big, huge marina. You can't go metal detect off or magnet fish off the marina. They don't let you. It's locked off. You can't get past the gates. You can do it from the side, I guess, but you can't go down in the boats. They won't let you. You have to actually have a boat down there as part of the yacht club and all that. There's tons of boats. See, on dry dock on both sides. Good places to eat. Anthony's is down here. Arnold's, the Beach Cafe. All nice places. Not cheap, but nice places. Ooh. Here's the public boat launches down here. They have a big launch that you can actually pick up and set your boat down. It's not cheap, but it's here. Here we go. Let's see some more of it. Whale watching is a big thing. They have boats that take you out here. You're supposed to be able to sometimes see whales from the line, from the beach too, but I don't know. I just know that one time when I was with a canoeing group and I was 15 years old and they came so close to us, that was a big deal. I don't ever think I could see whale watching as the same anymore as it was when they were like right on us. That was scary, actually. Edmonds Marina Beach. Right in front of us is the off-leash dog park. Porta potties, yay, yay, yay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our boy down here and see how he does. Okay. And if he does well, we will come back with the metal detector. Are you guys ready to take off? Let's go.